And good evening, ladies and gentlemen, live from the PWD studios in Concord, North Carolina. This is AIWF Ringside Wrestling. I am Mad Matt Carter, being joined by Commissioner Rick Diesel. Good to have you along for the ride, folks. Rick Diesel, how are you tonight, sir? You're going to need to unmute.
On it. There, is that better?
Yes, there we go. How are you tonight, sir?
Lord God, it's been hectic, man. We have, well, as you know, we released the seating charts and for the Deal to Steal today.
Yes, I've got that on the slideshow. So
Jesus Christ, that's what I was doing. That's why I come on a couple minutes late, because I was dealing with more tickets being sold. So the updated version that you have isn't the latest updated version, even though that version was updated like 30 minutes ago. We've sold more tickets since then.
That's incredible. I can't believe it. You know, for an independent our size to have advanced ticket sales popping off like this, you know, just under a month away is absolutely incredible. So, man, it's good stuff. Good stuff. So let me go ahead and get into the slideshow because we got a lot to talk about. And go ahead and pay some bills real quick. Let's see here.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Monitoring the Facebook page.
Awesome. Yep. So if you got any comments or anything, we'll give you a phone number in a second. You can also put the comments in the chat. And we know we're going to talk about Vince McMahon first off tonight as soon as I take care of a little business. And Rick Diesel,
Tricky Dicky.
Well, how'd you get Tricky Dicky out of Vince McMahon? How'd you do that? Oh,
Matt.
I was thinking Richard, you know, like I was like Vincent Kennedy McMahon. Wait a minute. Okay, I'm a little slow today. I'm tired, man. I worked.
It's okay.
Okay.
It's okay.
But anyway, okay. The AIWF, of course, is putting a headlock on high advertising prices. You can advertise on this program for $10 a month for a 30-second to 1 minute read. Or if you'd like a video commercial, we can do that for $30 a month. We'll also mention you on all these different platforms. Of course, our show is live here on Facebook every Monday night at 7 p.m. Eastern time. It goes up on YouTube and anywhere you find your favorite podcast later on in the evening. And of course, we have our Instagram page, our Roku page, and all that kind of stuff. And so we invite you to be part of that. Putting the headlock on high advertising prices, $10 a month, man. You cannot beat that kind of prices to help out your small business. And that is our number one focus.
And already, Matt, Justin Flash is interacting with the fans on the Facebook page. So he is already in there interacting. He's just come back hard and heavy and strong, ain't he?
Yes, he did.
He jumped right back in with both feet, man.
And got a big victory this past Saturday night, Justin Flash did. But I tell you what, his competition is going to step up for a Deal with the Steel. I understand. I don't know that this is final now, but I'm hearing rumors going around that he might be taking on one Jay Malachi. I don't know if that's any truth to that or not. We'll find out in the weeks to come, but certainly that
is a match.
That is
a match scheduled for Deal to Steal. We haven't really released it to the public yet, but I'll give that to you, Matt.
I couldn't help it. I was so excited when I saw that it was just in the talking stages. I couldn't help myself. All right. So the number, if you want to call in and give your thoughts on anything going on around the wrestling world, is 336-429-2338, 336-429-2338. And again, keep in mind, it's just after 7:06 in the East on Monday, July 25th. We're on Facebook Live. Of course, if you're seeing this on YouTube or podcast later on down the line, you can join us next Monday. And
join us every Monday night, 7 p.m. on the AIWF Mid-Atlantic Facebook page. Mm-hmm. Jump right in there, man.
Yeah, absolutely. So speaking of, let's pay some bill. Let me pay this bill real quick. Referee Bill Pauley has sponsored this segment to reach out to folks with disabilities. And as you can see, for those of you listening on podcasts, I'll read it to you. The reason I'm sponsoring this company is because I'm disabled. I was told my whole life I couldn't do things. Now I still have my learning disability since I was a kid. My dream was to be in the wrestling business. 14 years. I've done everything in the wrestling business. Now I'm starting over as a referee to show my son that is disabled and others who are disabled as well that they can live their dreams, whatever it may be. A truly inspirational message. Yeah, I always say, this is America. You're only held back by your willingness to work. You know, how willing or not willing you are to bust your rear end is the only thing that can hold you back. And if you have a disability or you know someone with a disability that needs some assistance, and the bulk of our traffic is in the state of North Carolina, so you can reach out to the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services at their website, www.ncdhhs.gov. Again, that's www.ncdhhs.gov/assistance/disability-services. All right. And there's all kinds of information there to help you out and find assistance for whatever you need. But again, we'd like to thank Bill Pauley for helping us out with this segment. Truly an inspirational message. And I'm going to try to do better, Bill, and see if I can find some more research sources around the state for us to highlight. But I think this is the best one. This is a very friendly webpage, easy to navigate, and it's easy to find all kinds of articles that can help you out with whatever your particular situation is, whether it's for you personally or a friend or family. All right, Rick Diesel, here we go. Big story of the week. Vince McMahon is out of the WWE. He announced his retirement amongst all these scandals. Your thoughts, sir?
Well, I'm surprised. I don't know if this is a real thing. It is a shock to the wrestling world. He has done so much in this business. He's an innovator. He is a pioneer. He done some dirty deeds back in the day. He put out a lot of people, out of business. He bought a lot of companies. He done a lot of underhanded things, but somebody had to do it. It was inevitable. Somebody was going to do it. Somebody was going to see the potential of pro wrestling, especially after TBS. When the NWA went on TBS and it went huge, Crockett made it huge all over the country. Somebody had to have the vision, and Crockett was trying. Well, I did. Crockett was trying, but Crockett wasn't he wasn't out there to put other companies out and to be at the top. You know what I'm saying? He didn't want to do it that way. But Vince McMahon, somebody would have done it eventually. Vince done it. He changed this business, some for the better, some for the worst. But I don't care who you are. If you're a wrestling fan today, he's part of that reason. So there's no way around that. So there's a lot of people talking crap about him, and they took the opportunity to take shots at him. But you know what? Those same people still watched every Monday night.
Yeah, and are still watching.
Yes.
So let's take a look. Let's go back at this. And now Vince Jr., started announcing for his dad in the old WWF, the New York territory, it was as it was called. And where I'm not going to give you a history lesson on how the territory system works. There's other podcasts that'll do that. But he always had the vision of taking wrestling national, because I think he saw earlier than anyone else the potential of cable TV. Hey, if this is going to be wired up and everybody around the country is going to have the same channels, this territory system where you're in your section, I'm in my section, Bill Watts is in his section, Jim Crockett's in his section, is not going to last. He was the first one to realize that. And so after he bought the company, he started cherry picking the talent from all the territories and building an all-star team. And he had Hulk Hogan, he put his financial rear end on the line to finance WrestleMania. Of course, the old story is that when Jim Crockett bought the time back from Vince on TBS for $1 million, Vince told him, you'll choke on that million. And Vince used that to finance WrestleMania, which ended up being a great success. And like you were saying, Rick Diesel, like it or not, Vince, he expanded his business. He made wrestling national. He turned it into a big billion-dollar industry, but he shut down the mom and pop. His business practices were destructive, and the fact that he killed the territories.
Vince McMahon is the Walmart of professional wrestling.
I never thought about it that way, but you are correct. Commissioner Smiling Diamond Dave has joined us as well. Smiling Diamond Dave, your thoughts on the retirement of Vince McMahon and looking back over his career, just kind of share with us what you think about this whole mess.
Unmute, Dave.
Yeah, you're muted, my friend.
I like how he has that camera angle. Reminds me of the old Home Improvement. That dude used to stay behind the fence all the time.
How's that?
Wilson.
That's better.
Well, see, when you get my age, you're hard of hearing and hard of seeing, so you got to have glasses and earpiece, all right, so you can hear.
Dude, I know. You ain't telling me nothing.
Yeah.
But my thoughts on Vince, he's done a lot for the business. Like I heard Rick Diesel said, he's done a lot of good, but a lot not so good. I believe it was time for him to step down. The new era, new generation, he'll still have his hands in it, I believe. But I think he's done good at a lot of things for professional wrestling. So I don't know if I'd go to Walmart of professional wrestling. In some cases, I might say Kmart because they went out of business. So, but that's just my opinion.
So you're thinking WWE is going to go out of business?
No. I said some of the things he's done ain't Walmart, it's Kmart.
Well,
over the years.
If anybody thinks that, for a second that if they're sitting around the Sunday dinner table or the Thanksgiving dinner table, Vince ain't gonna look across the table at Stephanie and Triple H and go, "Well, here's what I think you're doing wrong." Then you're just way out in left field, brother. Because he's still gonna have his hand in it, and they're a family. They're gonna be around each other too much for him to not have some kind of influence in it.
Yeah. And he'll still, in my opinion, and you know what they say about opinions, he'll still have a say. He'll, or let's just say he'll throw his thoughts and ideas in there. He'll present them to them. But I believe that still there'll be several of them that will get past and go on with his ideas.
I would love to see, because, and I worry about his health. Triple H was one of my favorites over the years, and I don't apologize for that. Katie Vick notwithstanding. But when Triple H was in charge of NXT from the time that it became, they moved it to Florida and FCW became NXT, I thought he did a tremendous job with that promotion. It felt old school. It was geared toward wrestling and what matches that you wanted to watch every week in NXT. And then he had his health problems and it went over into different hands, and it's not interesting to me anymore. I don't know if maybe that's just I'm old. But their demographics don't show that there's like teenage kids watching it, but that seems who they're gearing it to. Or do they think that people my age and older are so immature that they just got to give us this bullshit that they're putting on now? I don't know.
Well,
they're traveling a safe road.
Yeah.
They're not trying to be edgy no more.
I believe you'll see a difference now that Triple H is back in charge of creative and stuff. I believe you'll see it go back to some of what it was NXT. Mm-hmm. They've got good talent, but in my opinion, just like Raw and SmackDown, they got good talent, but they're misusing a lot of it.
Right. I think if the shows here's the thing. You got to look at it. It's difficult enough to book wrestling on a weekly basis. I mean, you look at, I did not learn this until a couple of weeks ago, but did you know that in 1987, when Dusty Rhodes was booking Jim Crockett, he was booking 2 hours of syndicated television, pro and worldwide, and then the TBS show, you know, which I guess is another 3 hours, because 2 hours on Saturday, 1 hour on Sunday for the most part, unless baseball, whatever. But, you know, he was so stressed and overworked in 1987 that he had a breakout of Bell's palsy. I did not know that, but that happened to Dusty Rhodes in 1987. I just learned that a couple of weeks ago, that he had a break, and I heard it from a reliable source. I heard it on Wrestling Observer Radio. And so I was just like, wow, okay. You know, I never knew that. So can you imagine if somebody with a mind like Dusty Rhodes could, you know, be so stressed out he has a bout with Bell's palsy, just booking 5 hours or 4 or 5 hours of TV a week. Imagine what it's like now, you know, with Raw is 3 hours, then you got the main event, then you got 2 hours of NXT, and then you got 2 hours of SmackDown. And it's just, I don't know. I think WWE has put themselves in a spot where they've got to produce so much content. There's no way anybody, you know, less than an army of wrestling geniuses could make all that entertaining every week after week after week, and then the pay-per-views once a month. What do you guys think?
Well, keep in mind, Matt, that they do have a staff of writers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
I mean, they're not necessarily wrestling writers. They do have a staff of writers writing TV every week.
I get that.
You know, it's like a soap opera. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's the same as a soap opera. Soap operas never do reruns. They're
right.
52 weeks a year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they're always new content. That's the same as wrestling. Oh, by the way, Josh was trying to start a conspiracy theory over on the Mid-Atlantic Facebook page.
What's he saying?
He's theorizing that AEW and WWE is now both run by somebody named Khan.
Well, that's true. That's true.
He's trying to start a conspiracy theory over there.
Well, I don't think Nick Khan and Tony Khan are any relation, but you know, who knows what'll come out in the watch. Speaking of which, we got this on moneywatch.com earlier today. Check this out. World Wrestling Entertainment disclosed Monday, that's today, that it will restate financial statements back to 2019 after uncovering $14.6 million in, quote, unrecorded expenses, unquote, paid out by former longtime chief executive Vince McMahon. The disclosure comes after the media and entertainment company announced late Friday that McMahon was retiring. The company said it was currently conducting an investigation into, quote, alleged misconduct by McMahon amid reports of an affair with a coworker that he paid millions to cover up. WWE said it will restate the results of the years 2019, 2020, and 2021 and the first quarter of 2022 to reflect the, quote, unrecorded expenses. The company said of all the unrecorded expenses, again in quotation marks, were or will be paid by McMahon, quote, personally. Given the need to restate results, WWE concluded that internal controls over financial reporting was, quote, not effective, wow, as a result of one or more material weaknesses. The company has also received and may receive in the future regulatory, investigative, and enforcement inquiries, subpoenas, or demands arising from related to or in connection with these matters, the company said in an 8K filing with the Securities and Exchange Commission. Oh boy, now they've got the attention of the federal government. The company said the restated results will be issued when the company reports second quarter results, which are currently expected to be released on August the 9th. In the meantime, the company provided a preliminary update of certain financial results for the second quarter. This included an expectation of revenue let me say that again. The included an expectation for revenue of $328 million, up 23.3 from the same period a year ago and above the fact set consensus of 311.9 million operating income before depreciation and amortization, I think is how you say that, is expected to be 92 million, which is above the previously provided guidance range of 80 million to 90 million. WWE also announced that it appointed Stephanie McMahon, who is Vince McMahon's daughter, and Nick Khan as co-CEOs. Listen to this, though. This is crazy. WWE stock leapt 7.2% in afternoon trading toward the highest close since October 2019. So its stock closed higher today than it has since 2019. MKM Partners analyst Eric Handler reiterated the buy rating he's had on WWE shares for at least the past 3 years, while boosting his price target to $79 per share from $70. He said that while Vince McMahon's retirement marks a, quote, major event in WWE history, quote, we do not expect any consequential disruptions to the business, given the capabilities and experience of those who are now running the business. If anything, speculation of a potential sale of WWE now increases, and in our view, there would be no shortage of suitors, Handler wrote in a note to clients. He said, quote, meaningful growth potential from upcoming domestic TV rights negotiation for WWE's Raw and SmackDown provide additional fundamental support for the stock. And then the last thing it says here, WWE shares have shot up 44% year to date, while the S&P 500 index has dropped 16.9%. So even though the economy is headed, looks like it may be headed toward recession, WWE stock continues to go up and up and up and up and up, gentlemen. Interesting.
Well, all I can say is, as far as the missing money, that it's obvious Vince had a hand in. The only explanation I could have for that is hookers prefer cash.
Well, yeah, but how did the watchdogs? I mean, of course they do. You don't even write them a check. You know. What are you writing a memo at the bottom of the check? Right, services rendered. Right.
Plumbing services.
Right.
Yeah, plumbing services.
Colon cleanser. Oh, insert your own joke here, fans, when you're listening. Oh my goodness. But that's incredible to me. That I found that article right before we went on the air. That's why we were a couple of minutes late coming on, because I wanted to print that out and read it. I just find that absolutely fascinating, because everybody said, oh, you know, that's why they announced it late on Friday, so they could, after the stock market closed, so it wouldn't cause the stock to tank. But the stock closed higher than it has since 2019 today. So evidently Vince leaving has not spooked investors one bit. Anything else that's excited them.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say, I think it's made the investors, it's give them energy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I feel like a lot of the investors are just there because they've been there. And I feel like a lot of them has been wanting Vince to go so that they could get new, fresh ideas and new blood. Everybody knows Vince has had a hammerlock, you know, on creative for decades. I mean, you know what I'm saying? If Vince don't like it, it don't happen.
No. Do you think that maybe, going along with what you said, Rick Diesel, that this is exciting for maybe wrestling fans have been like, all right, Vince is out. Now it's time to get some WWE stock. Do you think maybe some, like, you know, common, regular, ordinary wrestling fan type Joes have started buying WWE stock? Could that be part of it? What do you think?
I don't know. I don't know. I think one thing that's helped them is if it's true that they're going back to the what is it, TV 14 or whatever rating?
Yeah, on Raw anyway.
PG rating.
Yeah, that's just on Raw though.
Because wrestling is not freaking family entertainment. Shut up calling it that, you morons.
Yeah, I slip and say that too, but that I learned that from Jim Crockett. And I'll give you a fine example. If you go back on Peacock, let's plug WWE and get them some more money right now. I need to send you to Peacock to watch some videos. So if you watch Mid-Atlantic Wrestling in 1985, as they're building up for the first Great American Bash in Charlotte, Jim Crockett comes on every week and talks to Bob Caudle about these matches that they've got coming up. Oh yes, No disqualification, inside a steel cage, Dusty Rhodes versus Tully Blanchard, Ric Flair versus Nikita Koloff for the world heavyweight title, double Russian chain match, Road Warriors against the Russians. It's going to be really violent, really exciting, Magnum TA against Kamala for the U.S. title. And they're hyping up and selling all this violence. And Bob Caldwell says, "Thank you, Jim." And Jim walks away and he goes, "That's right, fans. It's going to be great family entertainment for you on 4th of July weekend in Charlotte." And I'm just like, okay,
I know it's
bring the kids. Let's, but
I heard a very intelligent man Saturday night at the show. He made the comment. He said, even in its purest form, wrestling is not family entertainment. It's two guys at its base. It's two men or two women stepping inside a ring and beating the hell out of each other. Sometimes with weapons. And for you, and you've heard me say this, both of y'all have heard me say this for years. Any promoter who puts on their goddamn poster or their advertisement that this is family entertainment ain't got a clue. I mean, and you can argue with me about it all night, but it's not, this is not family entertainment. Well, not by no means, unless you're just a shitty parent, and you're like, oh yeah, let's take the kids down, watch these two guys beat each other with chairs. It'll give them a good life lesson.
Well, I wouldn't say, but see, I see where you're coming from, but then again, I wouldn't say that it's harmful to children either, because I watch these boxing shows on Showtime and ESPN. They're all TV 14, and they make sure that they beep out any bad language and everything. They don't want to create. Yes, this is violence, but if you want to sit down with your kids and enjoy this violence, we want to make it where you can do that. I mean, look at the NFL. It's the highest rated sport in the country, and that's a very violent game.
3 hours of violence.
Yeah,
exactly. It's up. That's what I always. It's up to the parent. You know what I'm saying? If you're okay with taking your kid there, and you use wrestling to teach your kid about good versus evil or whatever, that's fine. It's not the parents. It's not the fans. I have a problem. It's the promoters that are misrepresenting this business, saying, oh, this is good family entertainment. What if somebody out here and they just say, I've never been to a wrestling match before. They say it's good family entertainment. Let's go. And then they're sitting there holding their hands over their kids' eyes because this dude's squirting blood all over the freaking ring. I mean, you know what I'm saying? With a barbed wire or a chain or a chair hitting him in the head. And I'm not saying that it's nothing against the parents. It's just don't represent it for what it's not. It's not, by God, family entertainment. Now, there's it's okay if you're okay with it, bringing your family to it. Please do, because we love the kids. That's why we have a Ricky the Ring Rat that comes out, and takes pictures with the kids and gives them candy before the shows. But we don't represent it as family entertainment. Take it for what it is. It's violence in its purest form. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah,
and just accept that. And don't misrepresent it. Just say, yeah, we're going to beat the hell out of each other. But you know what? We're going to play good music on the ring entrance. We've got a hell of a hot dog stand, and bring the kids out and let them call the wrestlers stupid fat pigs.
Yeah. And sometimes they even have a bouncy house out there for them. So
damn right. But I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, that's it. If it's okay. I mean, because you can watch Saturday morning cartoons, and how many times did Elmer Fudd shoot himself in the face with a 12 gauge?
Yeah, a lot.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Just stop calling it family entertainment.
Yeah.
I hate that. I hate it. Did I rant? I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine. That's what we're here for, to share opinions. I don't think it's necessarily, like I said, I will stand by and say I don't think it's bad for kids whatsoever. It's like it's a good way to teach them about athletics, especially at the professional level, and how tough it is. Have you got any good comments in the chat, Rick Diesel? I saw you looking over that way.
Well, I look over there, and Joshua's still he's commenting. Joshua's very chatty tonight, so he's in there.
Speak your mind, Joshua. Where's
go for it? That's what it's there for. That's why we
Joshua, where are you at? Where are you at? I'd like to know where you're watching us from. If you put that in the chat, I'd appreciate it. I'd like to know. As a matter of fact, anybody out there watching the show wants to shout out your hometown.
Please do.
Yeah, I'll say it on the air, man. I don't care. I'm hey, this is
we won't give you address
no
because we don't know it, but we'd love to know what town you're watching from.
Yeah, I mean, don't give us your address, please. Don't do that.
No, because my dumb ass will say it.
Yeah, and she's watching a Cold Creek Drive in Danville, Virginia. Drop by and see
in her
her.
underwear. Go by and visit her.
Yeah, she'll be.
Yeah, then I'll have a knock on the door after that one.
She'll be up till 3, she says. Oh, versus we're having a good time tonight. Here
they come. Here they come, Matt. Eric is watching from Madison, North Carolina. Joshua from Mount Airy.
All right.
Justin Flash from Danville, Virginia.
Oh, yeah. We knew that one. So we got Madison, North Carolina, Danville, and Mount Airy represented so far. Anybody back in Martinsville watching? That's what I'd like to know. Big Jim or any of those guys back there? Larry Meyer.
Hey, guys, and if you're watching this on, like you said, on one of the podcast things, we're on here from 7 to 8 every Monday night, Eastern Standard Time. Come on, it's live. You can chat, you can call in. I actually like the chats better than the phones. I might just throw the phone in the trash can. People seem to be more chatty in the chat room. You know what I'm saying? With the comments.
Yeah, it's a little less personal. And they found out the hard way the first week we had that phone line. What happens if you crank call us? So,
God, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway,
Robert from Pine Ridge, baby.
All right. I don't even know where Pine Ridge is that.
It don't matter.
Okay.
Pine Ridge is down next to Madison.
Oh, okay.
Around Walkertown, Pine Ridge down around that way, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, now there's a Pine Ridge near Mount Airy too.
Yeah.
Jennifer's watching from King.
All right.
Jennifer bought tickets.
Did she? Okay.
Yes.
Awesome.
Ryan watching from King. Hello, guys.
Right.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank y'all for tuning in. We appreciate it. Appreciate it a lot. So let's move on and talk about some AIWF Mid-Atlantic. Does that sound good to y'all?
Yes, sir.
All right. So the Dangerous Don Carson Memorial Tag Team Tournament is in the books. The winners, the Sioux Dudes with Attitudes, as they made it to the finals against the tag team champions David Parrish and Kason Kane of the Fighters Club and got the win. And I'll tell you,
and that has not been updated. I apologize for that.
No, that's all right. I
just stayed on somebody.
Yep. And so that we're going to get back to that, but I wanted to real quick talk about because tickets are already starting to move for this. And
yes, the front row in sections A and B is almost sold out. Actually, B is sold out.
Yeah.
A is almost sold out.
That's awesome. All right. So the 25th anniversary of Deal with Steel, boy, God almighty, I feel old. I remember the first one, 1997, Stewart, Virginia. Here we are, 25th anniversary. I hope I can make it to 50. But anyway, August the 20th, 2022 is coming up at Veterans Park. Tickets for this, it's a big show. Everybody, tickets on the floor, $12. Bleachers are $10. Every match inside a steel cage. It was the first wrestling show that featured all cage matches from top to bottom. And a lot of people are going to say, well, what about TNA? We're about 5 years ahead of them. So,
yes. Oh, I'm sorry, Matt, but
go.
Taylor, you know me, I love stuff like this. Taylor says she's watching from Curtisville with the commissioner's favorite chink. God bless her.
Lord have mercy.
Well, Matt, you think you feel old. Me and Rick Diesel built the first cage.
Yes,
the
we
AIWF
did.
in his driveway.
Yeah. That wood, we used that at the first Deal with the Steel. It had the wood.
The old Memphis wooden cage. That's where we got the idea from. Old Memphis wrestling.
Yeah.
They built a wood cage, and we stole their idea and built us a wood cage. And all of us got in that thing and hoped and prayed to God we didn't catch some blood disease. And
yeah.
But that thing held up incredibly well. I mean, it was sturdy. It could take a pounding, that's for sure.
It did.
No doubt about it. But anyway, that's going to be the last match of the Rock and Roll Express in Mount Airy. They're going to be taking the Mid-Atlantic out on the Mid-Atlantic Outlaws, Lewis Moore and Matt Houston. The War Games are going to happen Ty Tyson and his team, the Sioux Dudes with Attitudes, going to be taking on the Fighters Club with Smiling Diamond Dave. That you're going to see what led up to that on Mid-Atlantic Live coming up over the next few weeks. Rick Diesel, do you have a schedule for Mid-Atlantic Live when the fans can see that on our Facebook page?
No.
Okay. You know, there was
it usually comes out on the weekends. I mean, you know, the network has took that over. So it's just hey, you know, it pops up here and there.
So for those of you listening on podcast, you can't see this here, but I'm going to tell you all about it. Advance tickets are on sale for Deal with a Steal at brownpapertickets.com. You can go to brownpapertickets.com/event/5.
Oh yeah, that one is behind, Matt.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, they ain't but 2 seats left on Section A front row. Section B row 3. There's 5 seats already gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're a little bit behind, but that's okay. That's my fault, not yours.
That's all right. We'll update it best we can. But what I'm getting at here is, you see this, folks. You see the seats are starting to go. Rick Diesel's already telling us that this one's behind. You need to visit brownpapertickets.com/event/5514990. And then the other one for the bleacher seats is brownpapertickets.com/event/5515848.
Now the thing about those bleacher seats is what you're getting when you go buy the bleacher seats is you're getting it's a ticket to get in early. Anybody who has these tickets are going to open the doors early, and they're going to be able to come in. So if you buy bleacher seats, you'll be able to get in and pick those seats before the regular people buying at the door can come in. So by buying them online, you get a better chance of getting, you know, down close to the bottom, which there ain't a bad seat in this building. This is one of the greatest wrestling buildings ever.
I think so.
You know what I'm saying? It's an old building, and, you know, they fixed the roof. So that ain't an issue no more. But I mean, the layout of this building is so perfect
for wrestling. You know, and we were talking about that, like it's not any news to anybody. GCW is coming down and running the Cabarrus Arena here in Concord, or right outside Concord anyway. And a lot of people think about the big arena, and that's a great venue for wrestling. But where these independents run at is actually in one of the it's a display area for the fair, like, you know, where you put on like your craft displays and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's a nice room, but it's flat, right? And so if you're 5 rows back and the obnoxious jerks in the 3rd row decide to stand up the whole match, you can't see. That's not a problem at Veterans Park, because I'm telling you, no matter where you're at, even on the floor, you can see. And our ringside fans aren't that obnoxious. If they stand up, they'll sit down pretty quick. But I mean, especially those bleacher seats, you can see everything, the whole floor ring, the whole 9 yards in that building. It's just perfect.
I don't know. You got a couple of obnoxious ones that sit on the front row, not mentioning no names, but Bulldog. They pretty obnoxious.
Well, I'm going to tell you another little secret, man. You're going to give you another exclusive here. As many people know, the cage is being modified this year. Not going to say what. You want to see it, you can come there. It's not it's not a big modification, but it is a modification. And we're actually adding rows at the, you know, we've added rows and moved everything up. So the people on these people on this front row right here is literally going to be up close to the cage. I mean, like a foot or 2 away from the cage. So these guys are going to be in the cage. We're not really worried about no fans messing with them. You know what I'm saying? They're in a cage for God's sake. So we let the fans get a little closer to the ring for this one.
Yeah, you're going to have to come see it.
It's like I said, it's not a big modification, but the cage has been modified, and it's going to add an element of entertainment to the show.
Yeah, it ought to be really, really good. I'm looking forward to it. I know about those modifications, but my lips are sealed. AIWF Mid-Atlantic is available on Instagram. All you got to do is search AIWF Mid-Atlantic Wrestling. We got some exclusive footage from Instagram we're going to show you in just a little while of the trophy presentation at the Don Carson Memorial Tag Team Tournament. And of course, real quickly, you can give us a call at 429-2338, in addition to popping off in the comments if you like. And we'll be glad to talk to you. Just be advised, if you make a crank call, we don't care about your language. Say whatever you want. I'll mark this show explicit. But you can say whatever you want. Just be careful, because if you know what happens when you heckle a comedian, and that's all I'll say about that. Real quick, let's pay some bills. AIWF Ringside Wrestling would like to thank our first sponsor, Branch Management, who is still sticking with us. They are a tree service that operates in the Mount Airy, Surrey County area of North Carolina. They can help you with branches that are maybe too close to structures, normal pruning, or complete tree removal. They offer very competitive rates and free estimates and are here to serve you. You may also be eligible for a $100 referral bonus. Call 336-325-5300 for more information or to set up an appointment. That's 336-325-5300 to set up an appointment. Now, Branch Management, not only do they do arborist type work and tree service, they've also got you covered with general landscaping, pressure washing, and gutter cleaning. Now, for that, that's a different number. You're going to need to dial 336-648-2487. Again, that's 336-648-2487. That's for the landscaping, gutter cleaning, and pressure washing. That's Branch Management, our very first sponsor here on Ringside Wrestling. And, you know, just like most people that have, several different kids, they'll always tell you the oldest one is their favorite. And so that's a joke. You know, like every middle kid watching this show just got extremely hot at me for that. All right, so let's see here. Let's see if we can't go. Let me stop sharing here. And let's see if we can't go to our Instagram page and find some exclusive footage from this past Saturday night. I think I got it right here. And if you are on the Instagram page, you've already seen this, but I had trouble getting it up Sunday, but I finally got it. So we're going to take a look at it here together. And wait a minute, hit the wrong button. Hold on, y'all. I've lost a handle on this show. And we're going to listen as Smiling Diamond Dave presents the winners' trophies to the Sioux Dudes with Attitudes. Let's check it out.
On behalf of the AIWF Mid-Atlantic and the greatest tag team partner of all times, I am proud to present to you the winners of the Don Carson Tag Team Memorial Cup Tournament. And your little pipsqueak partner you got beside you. You are a disgrace to the Don Carson Memorial Tag Team. You don't deserve to hold them trophies. And I don't know who you all think you are, but to use the Tennessee Violence Authority's finishing move is a disgrace. You're a disgrace. You won the trophies. I hope you enjoy it. But let me know how you feel in the morning about them bruised ribs when you get up. You all make me sick.
All right, there it was. Smiling Diamond Dave treating Mickey Fulp and No Comparison Joe Harrison like they were in The Shining with you. You gave them the bat. I thought that was
That's
I thought that was a little strange. I don't really understand the reasoning behind it, but that's why we're here. You explained a little bit to me afterwards, you know, which the fans are going to see on Mid-Atlantic Live. I don't want to give all that away, but you know, here we are. The floor is yours, sir. Kind of explain to
Hey,
the
before he
fans.
goes, I just want to say Sexy Kavina is in the comment section stirring up trouble.
Oh, watch out, Sexy Kavina. Lord have mercy.
Go, Dave.
Well, like I said, Mickey and No Comparison Joe, they're a disgrace to even be called the winners, the champions of the Don Carson Memorial Cup tournament. You got a hillbilly drunk and you got a pig squeak. It can barely see over the second rope. And, you know, and for them to have the gall to use the finishing move that me and Don perfected,
Mhm.
and they didn't even do it right. And you know, but I just don't see. You got a hillbilly drunk and a pig squeak. That don't represent my tag team partner's tournament at all.
But Dave, don't you feel like in the least that maybe you should feel like you should take it as a compliment
Yeah.
that they you know at least tried to use the yours and Don's finishing move in a tournament named after Don. It's almost like they're paying homage, you know, to the tennis, to the TVA, you know.
Yeah, that's what it looked like to me.
If it would have been anybody else but Mickey Fulp, yeah.
So it wasn't a move, it was a person doing the move.
Yes. Everybody knows that I think Mickey Fulp is a waste of flesh. He's a hillbilly drunk. He's a wannabe, and he's a nobody. To me, it was total disrespect. You know, I done the right thing. I congratulated them. I shook their hands. But then I did what I felt was right.
Did the right thing. You shook their hands and gave them the trophies, and then gave them a baseball bat.
Yes.
You know, well, you know, but either way,
I mean, I don't know.
Well, you find yourself in war games now, Smiling Diamond Dave, and the fans are going to get to see that on Mid-Atlantic Live, how all that came to be. But you and Mickey Fulp go back a long way, and there's a lot of bad blood coming down. You're kind of, I don't want to say this in a negative way. You don't look back here a couple of days later and think maybe you got swept up in the heat of the moment when we were doing the interview backstage, when you were approached by the Sioux dudes with attitudes and maybe was just like, I'll jump in this match. I mean, it's been 48 hours. Do you still feel passionately as you did Saturday night?
Of course.
Okay.
Matt, I may be 56 years old. But the passion for wrestling is still in my heart. It's still in my blood. It always will be.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, Mickey Fulp and Joe, you know, I'm not worried really about none of them that's going to be in the ring. But you're right, there is bad blood, not only between me and Mickey Fulk. You've got Ty Tyson that's going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
I can't stand neither one of them. So that night, one, if not all three of us, is going to take an ass whooping. People think because I'm old and they're young that they got the advantage. Well, yeah, they can move a little quicker than me. But what they better not forget, I've got the knowledge. I've got the experience over them. There's always something up those sleeves that they might not know about. And come more games, they just might find out when they think they can take advantage, and the old man's going to be a pushover.
Well, I'll tell you what, Matt, they're all over the map on the message, on the comment section. Of course, Kevin Edwards thinks that Diamond Dave is a true gentleman. That's come from Sexy Cavina.
Thank you,
sure,
Sexy Cavina.
I'm sure the entire city population of Knoxville is glad that he's home tonight, not out on the road anywhere.
Ryan says that Dave can't remember 48 hours ago, and Erica says that he's not worried because he has the Cheaters Club in the ring at War Games with Dave. Now, the Cheaters just before you go into this, man, I got to say this now. Erica, keep in mind, if Dave pulls a short straw and he goes in that ring first for the first 5 minutes, he's in there with somebody on the other side by himself. And the Fighters Club cannot put anybody else in that ring for the first 5 minutes. Dave if he pulls a short straw and he goes in first for his side, he's all by himself in that cage with somebody for 5 minutes.
And it could be longer than that, Rick Diesel. The Fighters Club loses the coin toss. And
he could be in there with two people from the other side for 2 extra minutes.
Yeah, it could get ugly in a hurry. So, hey, let me take care of this right quick, and we'll move on, guys, because we're getting short on time here. You guys all know that come to the live shows about the great stuff and food going on at T's Treats. They are a food truck service that operates out of Mount Airy, North Carolina, that can be available in most parts of the state and can be at multiple locations at the same time. That means they've got more than one truck for those of you in Rio Linda. They have a full menu, including hot dogs, hamburgers, chicken, milkshakes, ice cream, many varieties of funnel cakes, and now feature many donuts. When it comes to delicious quality as well as reasonable prices, you can't go wrong with T's Treats. You can find out more information about T's Treats at facebook.com/T's Treats, or you can give them a call at 336-755-8204, 336-755-8204. That's T's Treats. Oh my goodness. And I'm getting hungry just thinking about it. Love that hot dog chili, fellas. Where's T's Treats going to be this week? Do you have any idea, Rick Diesel?
They are going to be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Going to be in Sparta, North Carolina, at the fairgrounds as part of the 100-mile yard sale or something like that. They got a big yard sale that goes from like North Carolina to freaking West Virginia. And we've been invited by people in Sparta to come set up at the fairgrounds. So as people's going through, they can stop, T's Treats, the trailer will be there, the bounce house will be there. Nice. That's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then Monday, the 1st of August, we go into lockdown for 2 weeks because of the Surrey County Fair, which starts August 5th through the 14th, I think. Mm-hmm. So that we have to take the trailers, 2 of them, and set them up inside, the Surrey County Fair, and they will be there for the entire fair. So come Monday, we're on lockdown for 2 weeks.
Yeah, I can't wait for the fair. And of course, we're going to have wrestling at the fair. Let's talk about that a little bit. Wrestling will be at the fair on the 6th, the 10th, the 6th, which is the first Saturday, the 10th, which is Wednesday, and then the 13th, which is the second Saturday.
Which now the 10th on Wednesday, it might be in jeopardy because, it's weekdays like that. Sometimes you just can't find everybody you need to put the show on. So.
I got you.
But we're still trying, not giving up.
Yep. And I am going to do my dead level best to be there on the 6th. I don't know about the 13th, but But yeah, I love the fair. The fair is a fun show to do. And
well, it's
and
they got a new company this year, so it's going to have more rides.
yeah.
And unfortunately, it is in August instead of September, but that goes with the contract signing. You know, you got to take what weekend they have.
Mhm.
So maybe in the next year or so we can get back into the September where we belong. But we're going to do this August thing at least this year.
Well, there's plenty to eat and drink there. I mean, lots of cool drink. There'll be a lot of vendors there, and they're supposed to have more rides this year. It's always a good time. There's plenty of places to sit down at the fair and all that kind of stuff. And of course, you can go into the grandstand where we have the wrestling. And the thing I like about it is we get a lot of new eyes on the wrestling, especially from locals in Mount Airy, and
Yes.
that's always a lot of fun. And they're like, man, how often do you do this down here? We're like, every 2 weeks. They're like, really? Okay. And so it always helps us out, at least for a few weeks after the fair, we have some new faces show up. So looking forward to that. So gentlemen, we're getting kind of low on time. We got a couple of minutes left before the top of the hour. We've talked about Vince McMahon. We talked about Deal with the Steel tickets already going on sale. Any final thoughts that you want to share with our audience before we go for this week?
Yeah, Matt, I'd like to say as commissioner that to me, it was good Saturday night to see Justin Flash back in the Mid-Atlantic.
Oh yeah.
Yes, it was.
It was he is an outstanding talent. He's great attitude about him. So I just want to say it was good to see him back Saturday night and stuff. So looking forward to many more shows with him, hopefully.
Awesome. Rick Diesel.
I'm reading these comments, man. They're awesome.
Oh, okay. Anything you want to share with us?
Well, I mean, all of a sudden here, like there's a minute left in the show, and everybody just starts talking all at one time. I mean,
they don't want us to go,
Yeah.
It's like, I was saying a joke, like Southern people, it takes us,
Smoking,
about an
bring
hour.
friends, tell everybody about the show. I mean, and get on there and just enjoy it and talk to each other and comment, and we'll read the comments on here, and it makes the show better. You guys make the show better. So please continue to come, be here with us every week. We'll take you into Raw every Monday night and get you fired up for it.
Yep.
So, and once again, I just want to tell any wrestlers out there, I ran on this. I'm going to start doing this every week. If you're a wrestler out there, contact Matt Carter. We'll get you on the show. If you're a promoter, contact Matt Carter. We'll get you on the show, because we talk about the AIWF Mid-Atlantic, and that's kind of where everything is centered at. But this is still an AIWF show, and you're welcome to come on here. Mm-hmm. So stop being lazy. Stop being goofy.
It's free.
It's free advertisement for you. And if you tell your fans about it, they'll come on and they'll learn about you, and our fans will learn about you, and maybe your fans will watch the week after and they'll learn about somebody else who might come on. That's called social media, guys. Get your thumb out of your ass, stop eating boogers, and promote yourself. Mm-hmm. This is a place to do it, and it's free.
Yeah. We know the AIWF's not full of a bunch of booger eaters.
Well, I mean, come on. I hate to waste somebody's time.
Absolutely.
I mean,
you don't have to come on for the whole
my God,
show.
who the hell wants to do that?
Yeah, I know. God forbid we help you make a few bucks. And you don't have to come on for the whole show. You want to drop in for 10, 15 minutes, plug your show, and get off here, you're more than welcome. And remember,
Matt'll make you a segment just for you.
Yes, I will. And not only this, but for those of you, it'll be up on YouTube and all podcasting platforms later. And for those of you watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe, ring the bell, that you do for all your favorite YouTube videos, as well as you guys listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all that kind of stuff. Give us a 5-star rating. It really helps the show out, and tell your friends about it. We really need your support. And those shares, although it only takes you a half a second to do that, is a big help for the show. And so we would really appreciate it if you would help us get the word out. It definitely is does not go unnoticed, and is very much appreciated. Yes,
man,
Rick Diesel.
Right quick. What can we do to get more? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like a challenge. Like if we get so many, can we tell how many views we get, or or how many people's watching at one time? That's hard to tell right off the bat, ain't it?
It's hard to tell right now. I don't have those numbers ready because I usually check them after the show on Monday, which I might ought to start doing that before the show on Monday.
I
But
tell you what, let's set a goal.
Okay.
All right. Me and you'll talk about it. We'll announce it next week. We'll set a goal. And if we reach that goal, I'll do something stupid on live on the air.
Okay. All right.
We'll come up with that too. We'll announce it next week.
Cool. Well,
yeah, I don't know what it might be. I might set up a stripper pole. Who knows?
That is scary.
Just make sure,
believe it, buddy.
Make sure that you go on and read the content guidelines on YouTube before you decide what you're going to do. Just make sure it's well within those parameters.
Hey, we'll take suggestions. You can send suggestions to Matt or me on Facebook or the Mid-Atlantic page of suggestions that Rick Diesel could do if we hit a milestone, and we'll announce it next week.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep, we'll do that.
Get him to saying he stopped loving her today.
I don't drink that much no more, Dave.
All right, fans. Well, that's going to wrap things up for us this week. We certainly appreciate it. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you at the fair on August 6th and the 13th. At least we know that so far in Mount Airy at Veterans Park. And of course, August 20th, Deal with the Steel at Veterans Park. The Rock and Roll Express, last appearance in Mount Airy, and a big triple main event. Kevin Phoenix defends the Mid-Atlantic Championship against Caden Pierre, and of course the War Games. And there's going to be a lot more on that card too. And we will keep announcing those matches as the weeks come on. Every match will be inside a steel cage. We can't wait to see you there. There's the only thing hotter than the weather in this part of the country is the action in the AIWF Mid-Atlantic. So
Countdown has begun.
Yes, it has. And so for Commissioner Smiling Diamond Dave, Commissioner Rick Diesel, I am Mad Matt Carter. Thanking you so much for tuning in. We'll see you next week, fans. And until then, so long for now.
Good night.